My name is Ariel Waldman. I'm 19 years old and I am a junior photojournalism major.
I love photo. I like taking pictures. I like capturing other people's emotions, having them permanently suspended in time. I grew up in the church, and I think growing up in the church I just kind of, thought that was expected of me. Around my 5th or 6th grade year, my parents stopped going to church. I was part of a worship band with youth, and my parents would drop me off, and they would go back home on Sunday mornings, and then they'd come back for me. But I remember thinking that it was really strange that my parents weren't going to church at that time, and really feeling confused about why I was at church if they weren't at church. And I remember probably my 8th grade year, my mom decided that she had been away from church too long. She wanted to go back to church, and so she and my brother and I started looking for a new church. My dad wasn't interested in finding church at that point, and we went out looking. We found a new church. I kind of walked through high school kind of knowing God, but not really walking with God. I was struggling with a lot of sin in my life, a lot of habitual sin, and then I think at that point too, I really didn't understand that the way to get to God wasn't about what I did, about reading my Bible or going to church or whatever, that it was about just trusting God for His salvation and having faith in that. And so I really thought it was a performance thing. So I would, obviously being human, fail all the time. Belief and faith in the Bible are trusting. They imply reliance upon. It's more than just knowing, knowing that, that you're standing in front of me, or that that my shirt is green. It's trusting that this chair I'm sitting in will not collapse and that I won't fall onto the floor. That's believing. So believing in God or having faith is relying on Him daily and trusting that He'll provide the things that you need. A lot of people have things that they struggle with in all kinds of different situations, whether it's disappointment with grades, or a family member dies, or anything. I think God uses those things to bring us closer to Him. I remember being a freshman, coming from a school that only sent me to Ball State, thinking I don't know anyone here, I have no friends. And I remember just feeling really lonely, and God really worked in that at that time in my life, and helped me realize that I don't need my friends to walk with Him, and once I realized that, He provided other people in my life that did come alongside me and walk alongside me and really encourage me to grow. It's really not about what you do. Christianity isn't about going to church every Sunday, or being a good person, or reading your Bible, or any of that. Any of those things that, most Christians do. That's not what gets us into heaven. The only thing that that Christianity is really about is relying on Jesus. And that's the only way for us to get into heaven. Sometimes life is hard, but that doesn't mean that God's abandoned us, or that He doesn't love us anymore. But He uses those things to bring us closer to Him. There's so much on earth that you can't explain, or that you can marginally explain, but really never fully comprehend, how the sun is perfectly positioned, that if the earth was tilted just a little bit one way or the other, we either all freeze or all burn up. How stars in the sky so far away, their light can get here. Things that are so marvelous and so beautiful, when you look at them. It's hard for me to believe that there isn't a God, even though there's no solid proof. Like, I can't do a geometry proof like A equals B and B equals C, so A equals C. Like, that doesn't work. And that's why we have to have faith, that we have to trust, because the things that we can't see are the things that are eternal.